such a treat for me.
No, I'm so glad we just talked about it.
Next song I want to talk about it's my favorite Keshi song. And when I first listened to, remind me the name of the album. I'm forgetting.
The new one is Requiem.
Yeah, Requiem. When I first listened to it, when it came out, Soft Spot was immediately my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Listened to it, I was like, this song fucks. It's really good. It's up my alley, like kind of 80s leaning.
Yeah.
Shit. What's kind of the story behind that song? And then we'll get into some like more specific questions a little bit after.
So Casey, who is Keshi, one of our closest friends, I EP'd his album Gabriel and then EP'd this album Requiem. He has just done everything prior to that, had done just everything himself all the way. Even some of the mixing and mastering for those early things. So he's not used to letting other people in on the project. He was used to me because we had done Gabriel together and Ahmad had done one song off that record. And I think for Requiem, he was like, it'd be sick to get Ahmad more involved. And then maybe he can drive on the computer so you and I can dive in on the just chords and the nerdy shit and you know what I mean? All those things. So it was really great to be like, just, Ahmad's one of my closest friends. Our families know each other even. And so it was just a beautiful year of my life. But for that song in particular, we were pulling in Julia Michaels for a day. And, we were all, Casey's not, how do I word this? He's just very not used to collaborating on songwriting. You know, because he's so like that. He's just so good and just knows what he wants. And he's like, other people sort of dilute the vision. It's cool to get melodies, ideas, and but when it comes to lyrics, he just knows what he wants, which is a great quality in an artist. So when the Julia session was coming, we were like, let's just go with the flow. If we don't like something, we can always change it later. Let's just use her talent to see what it gives to your project. Right. So sessions started guns blazing. And Julia's so sweet, so a little bit shy and like just really good at her job. So I hopped on the Udo's Super 6. You know that synth?
No. I know.
It's like that blue one.
Oh, yeah,
the Udo.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I hopped on that. I think I'd gotten it like a month prior, and I just started
like
playing those exact chords in the exact way. And it wasn't planned. It just sort of was happening. And, I just follow my fingers and whatever. They're talking to my ears.
Dude, I'm the same way. Yeah. It's like I hear sound and my fingers just start.
Yeah, it just sort of happens.
Yep.
And then Ahmad was like, "Oh shit!" And then he put those drums on there immediately. Yeah. Like maybe had the loop ready or I don't know. Ahmad's just he's Ahmad. Yeah. And then dude, so this all happened in a span of like 15 seconds. Yeah. It was insane. I hop on the thing. Ahmad already had the fucking drums ready somehow in my tempo. And then Julia she was like, "Can I sing something on the mic?" And then sang the hook of Soft Spot.
Yeah. Oh God.
So it was a really wild experience. I think she was mumbling the beginning and then landed on Soft Spot at the end. And we were all like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
She's just a genius. And then, from there, so me and Ahmad's dynamic a lot of times, or actually my dynamic in general when I'm not driving, when I'm not at the computer, is they're collecting and I'm running from instrument to
on the
just
same
layering and layering.
That's how I used to work with, who also did Build a Bitch, David Ark, right? Yeah, it's like a lot of the times it's like I was usually at the computer, but so much of it was like me just like running around fucking putting things down, and then he cleans it up after.
Right.
Workflow's my favorite. Yeah, but sorry, to cut you off.
It's a great workflow. Usually, I'm like the one who's more proficient. Not every session, but I'm usually the one who's more proficient at instruments specifically. And Ahmad's just such a whiz on the computer and pulls up sounds so fast and just always has the right drums ready. And so that's usually our dynamic. And he's such a great collector and arranger, and he just has that brain. So I just started layering the bit. We did the bass, and then I had the guitar line done. Was just playing in my head, and I was like, I have an idea for a guitar line, and then everything just came together so quick. I think Julia might have left after like 2 hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bet we're done. We had the best time.
Yeah,
really such a fun day.
Yeah,
and then it's funny. We might cut this out.
Sure.
But maybe we won't. But I don't think he'd like super mind me saying this, because we've said it and we had like a fucking round table thing where we all talked and we kind of mentioned it. But Casey wasn't initially fond of the song.
Dude, that happens all the time with artists.
Yeah, to put it lightly.
All the time.
To which also, by the way, I completely understand.
Yeah.
Very outside of his regular wheelhouse and like... it was just a little too like saccharine for him, and he was just like, this isn't me, and like I don't know how the fans are going to react, and so the song eventually won him over, and it became one of the singles, and is to me the best. Like it's my favorite on the album. Also, so like everyone will listen to that song and be thinking of a specific person that's in their heart, that they go, that I have a soft spot for this person, and that's what happened to me. And I was like, I resonate with a lot of Keshi songs, but not like that. It was that was the first one where I was like, I'm thinking of something very specific, and we need to put this on.
Yeah. But dude, again, it's like I keep going back to this cringe thing.
Yeah.
Where like a lyric like that in the wrong context, it could be so cringe.
Right.
But over these like chill chords and like his beautiful voice, just like singing it so chill.
I know.
I believe you.
And I think, and when you're an artist, it's like how your brain deletes your nose from your vision. You're deleting your voice from your brain. You're looking at everything else, not what's inside you.
Yeah.
So for us, we're like, this makes total sense. Right. A Keshi song that's like an 80s vibe and like this, and it makes so much sense. And for him, he's like not factoring in the context of him singing it, making it cool.
Yep.
And so it's a lot. Sometimes it's like whatever. I mean, but he also, he helped. He made the song too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You were there, right?
He was. It's not like it was like a pitch song. He was in the fucking room.
It's like funny that like you were talking to Casey before with like Julia being like, all right, I know like we don't usually like to write that much. It's what I tell artists all the time, where it's like we're just gonna get in a room and we're just gonna write the song that we're gonna write that day.
Yeah,
that's it. It's gonna live in that room, and it could probably never come out. And no one's gonna force you to release something you don't want to release.
Yeah,
but just like see where it's gonna take you, and like trust that collaborator's process a little bit.
Yeah,
the one thing that I try and get artists to get out of, and I'm curious if you think this too, is to just like kind of get out of their way when they collaborate with people.
Yes,
where it's like, listen, like this person's in the room, let's have their perspective.
Yeah,
right, because like you can always write with me alone.
Yeah,
but they're here, like see how it goes, and then it's always like not always, but so often at the time it's like happened where like I'm with an artist I work with a lot. We have a day like that, and they're like, I don't know, it didn't really feel like me. And then 6 months later, they're like, yeah, this is a ridiculous song.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
Just that time away.
I mean, it's like